Welcome to the 2020 edition of Hidden Studios. This year you understand everything's different, but we hope to show you some really good artwork. The name of this one is Living Large. I don't know what that means exactly, but there's a lot of going on in it. This is called Transform. All the sculptures turn on this pedestals, so that's a feature that most people like. Again, powder-coated steel. This one is similar in design to the last, but this is called Art Nouveau, because there was a period in decorating and that field, Art Nouveau was very popular. This tries to tie the two together, now and then. This one's called This Changes Everything. You can see there's different parts, and that's usually the way I work, is I make the parts and then I put them together into an arrangement. We'll talk about that later, but this is called Changes Everything. This one again is a powder-coated steel called From Generation to Generation. I wanted to say something about past and future, and I guess it just shows my complicated mind after past and future. This one is rather recent. It's called Full Tilt. Get the idea of a sailing vessel in full wind. This one is not a 7. This is called First Kiss. The awkwardness of that moment. This is called Now is the Time. Different directions you could take in life. Now is the time. Again, powder-coated steel. This is called Glory. I try to, my work gives glory to God. This is just an expression of that. This is aluminum, obviously, but that's why I can say. The name on this one is, I told you this was happening. It was so wound up when we first made it, we couldn't figure out what it was. But then I figured it out. I told you this was it. Well, this is basically will be a gallery, I hope, in the near future, where we can display each one and invite people to come see on a regular basis. Right now it's an old barn, and just showed in it, and got a good response actually. But those rock walls are 100 and almost 20 years old, and they're beginning to give me pause. But we've got a guy who's going to work on them, I guess. This is called Turning into the Wind. We hope when the wind blows, so will these. Plus it turns on the stand. This is not what we would display this going to the ground this big of. I just am short of pedestals right now. Success breeds make more pedestals. This one's called Time Lapse. Again, I'm fascinated with the concept of changing and viewing time as it passes. When you get to be my age, you're aware. This one again, we don't have a pedestal for yet. This is liftoff. And you see the centerpiece and taking off. A rocket or a thought, maybe. This one is the most recent, I guess. We're still kind of working on it. It's called Moonshot. The idea of rockets. And I started 3 years ago with this ball motif, and then building on it. That's how I construct the sculptures. Start with the ball and work out from there. Whatever happens, happens. I usually have no plan. Usually. And this is called When the Planets Align. And this one I had in a museum recently. Didn't sell, but it's called Just a Flirt. I didn't know what to call it. This is called Between the Lines. These are the two lines there. Mm-hmm. And again, it has a kind of a space theme. You could say these are planets and these are the patterns of the planets. And that's just how it struck me at the time. But this part, these little balls on straight edges, is a motif I use a lot. It's called True North. It's simple. It's more like a sundial, I guess, in my mind when I saw it. Again, I put these together with no particular plan. This one is a safe place. I just thought that it's very inclusive and very concentrated. This one is live wire. This is powder coat, bronze. Sometimes you run out of names. This is live wire. Here's my painting here. I hope to do more painting, but I just kind of recently more retired, so I hope to do some. This is kind of where my painting is going, involving metal, actually in the painting. This is resin. This is poured resin. You have to do this in a horizontal position, basically, and then you have about 3 to 4 minutes to work with it before it hardens. And you gotta do this one. You have to have a plan because there's no time to waste. I literally, when I started using the material, poured it out of the cup and it stopped in midair. And you think, well, that was that's no good. This one is one we're working on. I'm working on. Going to be kind of an ocean theme, I think, a wave theme. That's why the blues are beginning to come. This person here is kind of a man-shaped thing. I'm going to call it something to do with soldier, coming home, soldier, or something like that. And the other pieces are just in process. And this one over here may become something, looks like. That's how I work. You can't stand the stuff up, you can't stick it to the wall. So you have to lay it on the floor and hope that you'll be able to add some dimension as you pick it up and weld it together a piece at a time. You hope for some dimension. Not just two-sided, as it would be on the floor. And still hold the good design. That's the main thing. Good. The most important thing in any artwork, I think, to me, is line quality. It doesn't waver, isn't off, isn't anything but really sharp. And that could be in any medium. It could be how the pieces of aluminum begin with the heat. Come up with a pattern. This is actually what I'm working on as a commission. It's the 4th generation of this particular design. People love it. I don't know why particularly, but so I put this on the sheet, I drew around it, and then I plasma cut it out. This is a plasma cutter. It's a hot spark with air power. It's hooked up to my airline. How do I show you? You don't have to worry about your eyes. So it's very, it'll cut steel 3/8 no problem. You can hear the air going through it, but there's no spark. It's all like this. And it burns easily through aluminum and anything else, fingers or whatever. Here's what it will look like. This was the first generation. And I still have to make the pedestal and all that. But hopefully that's what it will turn out to be.